Hi friends from TRAFFIC-CHIC. I'm Lourdes Nicole, editor-in-chief and host of your favorite podcast, Catching Up with TRAFFIC-CHIC, when you will learn all about the important topics of the fashion industry in Puerto Rico and the world. And today, we are joined by two special guests. First of all, we have Lara López Picasso. She is an innovative planner, content creator, and fashion aficionado with over 7 years of experience working in the event production industry. As a director of special events and client relations at Function Productions, a leading experiential event agency focusing on Miami and New York markets, Lara is responsible for discovering emerging designers, establishing relationships with sponsors, activating, creating and developing imaginative concepts of one-of-a-kind experiences. Laura, thank you for being here with us in this podcast. And we also have with us Lori Riviere. She has been a top PR marketing expert in the fashion, beauty, and lifestyle space for over 10 years with a specialty in swim and resort wear. She has produced shows and done PR for major platforms and swimwear brands, including Frankie's Bikinis, Hot as Hell, Monday Swimwear, Miko, San Lorenzo Bikini, and more. She earned her bachelor's degree in advertising from the University of Florida and a law degree from the University of Miami School of Law. Together with Nicole Doswell, she has built one of the top minority-owned and operated agency managing shows for New York Fashion Week, Paris Fashion Week, London Fashion Week, and Miami Swim Week. She is a go-to source for brands looking to build trend-setting events, get press, and working with influencers globally. She has built a reputation for merging impeccable event production and experiences with getting the right people and the right buzz for brands through strategic press placement. When she is not mapping out amazing plans for brands to grow market share, she is sharing recipes, outtakes from her life in New York City and Montfels with her toddler and baby on Instagram at Lori Riviere. Thank you, Lori, for being here.
Thanks for having me. I'm so happy to be here and see you in person.
Yeah, it's really an honor to have you both here. And for all of you guys that are watching us and hearing us on the podcast, we are going to talk about Paraiso Miami Beach, the Swim Week Summit, and much more. So let's start with Laura. We are a month away from the event. We are really happy that the physical event is happening. Tell us about how the production process has been.
Yeah, so thank you so much for having me today. We're really excited to share with you some exciting information. So the process has been really interesting because this year when everything kind of happened with COVID-19, we really, talked to the designers one-on-one and trying to understand their necessities. And everyone works differently, especially with designers coming from all over the world. So the virus really affected everyone in a particular way. For example, this year we're working with Chromat and they will be presenting their See Now, Buy Now collection. So it would be their current collection. We're partnering up with Runway Buy. So people will be able to download their app and buy from the runway, which is, something exciting that we haven't done. But for example, then we also are working with Beach Bunny and their schedule is still the same as every year and they will be presenting their latest collection. We are going to be filming the fashion show and it would be live during Paraiso this year in August.
About the designers, can you tell us about which designers can you talk about are going to be presenting their swimwear collections on the runway physically there at Paraiso?
Yeah, so our schedule is already up online on our website. But yes, we're super excited to be working again with, as I was mentioning to you before, we're going to be working with a lot of them in different capacities. But for example, we're working with new designers such as Norma Liot from Turkey. Then we're working with Monse. We're working with Luli Fama, with Beach Bunny. So really is we're just working with a lot of the brands that we worked in the past, but also we have new designers coming this year.
And in the communications that we have received, and the things that you have, you as Paraiso have launched, we are gonna see a marketplace because with the buy now.
Yes, correct. So our schedule this year is it's going to be a hybrid schedule that consists of virtual, digital, and live events. So all of it is going to be live streamed, and we are partnering up with the CXN. Is a new marketplace. It's very innovative, and it's completely different to anything else that's been seen already. This is going to be, I feel like you have to really watch it to understand, but it's you can literally buy from the runway, from the video. You can create your own rolling rack with all the styles. It's really the future.
Yeah, and it's really amazing how before the pandemic, many people wanted to do that, and before it was maybe, I don't know about your production, but to me it seems like maybe brands and productions were contemplating the idea of the merge with digital with physical and the marketplace, but it wasn't the environment, it wasn't prepared enough to sustain it, and to make it successful. But now after COVID, that everyone is either way doing online shopping. When you go to clothing store, you cannot put things on, so it's kind of like online shopping. So do you think that this will bring a new perspective and a new opportunity for brands
Absolutely.
to
And
have
if you think
sales?
about it, yeah, and if you think about it, it's globally, it's really worldwide. You can be anywhere and still shop the latest collections. So it's amazing because it just opens so many new doors to buyers and also to designers.
And about the show, will it be on the tent we are used to, or will it be outside as we are also used to, because you do a different type of shows during swim week earlier years? What can
So
we expect this year?
unfortunately, the city is not issuing any permits to do large events like building a tent. So we will be missing the tent this year. However, thanks to all the hotels and all our partners that you guys know really well, we're going to be working with a bunch of hotels in Miami Beach. So that's really exciting to be able to kind of take the entire event over there. And it's still going to be the epicenter of swim week, the same location, and we're just going to miss the tent this year, but everything else going to be the same.
And it's interesting how from the beginning you have the blessing, as you may say, of the city of Miami Beach. How was the process? Where you did the production approach the city, and they were open? There were some negotiations, because you're setting a precedent here to the world,
Right.
because each and every fashion show that I know of in Latin America is going digital, completely digital. And to do it mixed, I think is the right answer, but it's bold for the times that we're living in.
Right. So we always been supported by the city of Miami Beach, and Lori, you probably know, for many years, Swim Week and Art Basel are the biggest events that happen in Miami. So the city's always been with us, and we really always talk, and this was something that it was really talked between the city and us, and we decided to move forward once we had their blessing and their support on it. So it's really we've always been and our founder is also part of their commission. So, it's nice to work together and support businesses too, because this also brings, new business to hotels, to everyone in the area.
Yeah, and that's one thing that it has been looked over about, I think, the fashion industry, the whole fashion industry, that is not just about the show and the production. It's about the economical system, because you have the guests of the shows that they buy from the designers. They go do their hair, do their makeup, they go out and eat, they travel, and then you have everything. You move the tourism, you move the economy, you move restaurants, stores. I mean, each time that I go to swim week, if I wait until swim week is over to go shopping, stores are empty. So that's just a little bit of what we can see about the impact of each and every physical event, and that, and the reach that it magnifies when you have press, when you have influencers, when you have guests. That is not only the event that is going live, it's just a lot of people that are influencing and sending the message to a lot of people, and it's important for the fashion industry and for many industries, and that is something that is not talked about, and I'm really glad that Paraiso is moving forward with it. About the digital shows, are you is the production going to have them in between the physical shows, or are you still sketching how it's gonna plan, or it's gonna be before?
So our schedule is up online, and it really, changes depending on the day. All our shows are going to be live streamed, so pretty much everything's going to be online. And yeah, it really, it's not that we have like a specific, our schedule, as I was mentioning, is already up, and we're still adding exciting events that, are happening. Everything is different this year. So we're excited to, keep on growing our schedule by the minute.
And with that difference, how has been the support of the sponsors that each and every year support the production? How has it been when you told them, "Hello, we're going live, we're back"?
Yeah, so a lot of them are really interested on the digital side. So we've been creating a lot of custom, programs for them. They really want to, partner with swimwear brands. So that's kind of what we've been doing a lot with them. But it's honestly great to know that, past sponsors are, still coming back. And even in this, hard time, because it's really hard for everyone, for designers, for sponsors, like, they're still present. So, at the end of the day, we want to, keep the industry together and, have the support of, the designers and the sponsors, and kind of keep moving forward.
What do you think the impact of this event will be this year? Because Swim Week in general is really important for the fashion industry globally, and to not have the trade shows, to not have the swing shows, to me it would have been a higher impact on the fashion industry. But now with Paraiso, how do you see it will impact the industry?
I think it's going to have a really strong and global impact. This year we're really investing, in having all our content distributed to different partner channels. It's going to be going out to million households globally. So, and that's something that we're going to keep for the future. But I think it's just, really bringing people together. And before, pretty much, everything was happening here, and now I feel like worldwide everyone came together. So I think that's kind of what is going to change and be really impactful this year.
And do you think that from now on, Paraiso will be a merge of digital and physical, or?
Absolutely. For sure. This is the future, for sure.
Well, talking about digital, Lori worked with the Swim Week Summit, right?
Miami
Swim
Swim
Week
Week.
Summit, and it was completely digital. Tell us about why it was created and celebrated for the first time. That I think it was amazing.
Yeah, so when we actually were in Paris for Paris Fashion Week, when kind of everything started to happen. Um, and so we got back, and then like a week later, New York shut down. So, and then of course we started getting the emails, because the next thing we work on after Paris Fashion Week is Swim Week. And so we started getting panicked emails from brands like, do you know what's happening? Do you know what's happening? And of course, we're friends with a lot of the producers, like the Paraiso team. And so we kept in contact, and no one really knew for a little while what was going to happen. So we were just sort of waiting. And when the week as we know it, particularly like the trade shows and some of the ancillary events, I would say Paraiso to me is the anchor event. But when some of those other events sort of circulating around, particularly the trade shows, announced that they were going to either cancel, postpone, whatever, change plans, we had so many brands reaching out to us like, oh no, this is our time of year that we, connect. And so we felt like, gosh, we need to do something to create like a momentum moving forward, even though we're kind of all stuck in a little bit of limbo. So that's sort of how the idea started. And then we work a lot with Fashion Week Online and MiamiSwimWeek.net, and they came to us and said that they wanted to do something. And so it was sort of this collaborative effort. We went to Paraiso, and their team was so amazing. And so we created it in order to create a roadmap for brands that couldn't connect in person at Swim Week.
I think it was really necessary for the industry because on this time, I know that Latin American Fashion Summit has taken care of the Latin American designers, but we haven't seen that on other parts of the industry. I don't know if it's pride. I don't know if it's that people just didn't take time to do it. So for you guys to take time and plan something that is really necessary and really valuable for designers, for everyone on the industry. It gives me hope. It gives me really hope about that we're gonna get through this with the right tools, because that's key. You will not be playing with the same tools you had earlier the pandemic.
That's true. But you know what? I think you'll get a lot of those same tools back, but we're adding new tools to the toolbox. And that's what I think is so great, just to bring it back to Paraiso. They've always been innovative, right? They've always been on the cutting edge doing things. And I think, a lot of people, I think, called them, it is a bold move, but maybe some people said, no, you're crazy to have an event. But I know them, and I know the way they plan and the way that they're strategic about things. And so they have plan Bs and Cs and Ds, and they have so much innovation within their organization, they're able to pivot quickly. And I think if you look at what they did, it's such a model for what people around the world should really follow, because they have this digital integration into everything that they've done. So, I know I've gotten a little window into the production side, and everything's going to be so safe. There's obviously not going to be hundreds of people there, but it's still going to be a place where even more than hundreds of people, thousands of people can gather in a digital space, but still have that feeling of some live events. So, and that was one of the things too, we felt like by creating the summit, it also can tell people, like, these are the kind of things we can dive a little bit deeper into what Paraiso is doing and the innovations that they've created and, other people have created. So I think that that's something that is kind of a silver lining of all of this. And we got to try and find somewhere we can.
Can we talk about what was said about the summit for the people that didn't know and missed it, the speakers, how was it planned? Because we follow you and on social media, and we know that you were in Pineapple Hotel. That it
Yeah.
was really fun. It looked really, really nice, but people don't know about it. So tell us a little bit.
Yeah, so I can tell you, well, it was planned very quickly because I think, you know, all the producers and everything were kind of waiting to see what was going to happen in Florida before making decisions. So we planned everything in about 4 weeks. Um, so that was a little tough. I think the reason that we were sort of the perfect agency to plan it is because we weren't afraid. We wanted to bring the best of the business. And so we weren't afraid. We tapped on competitors of ours. We really brought the best. We had Volare, we had CLD. I mean, we really had people, the best of the industry. You know, the best runway platform with Paraiso, the best experiential platform with Paraiso. We had Judy from Swim Show. So we pulled everybody, the community together. We put, you know, checked ego at the door, which was kind of what we always do. We checked our ego at the door and we just started planning. And then we started realizing, gosh, this is going to be 2 days. Nicole, who's, you know, my production partner, we haven't seen each other since Paris. And we realized, oh my gosh, you know, we're probably going to need to communicate in some way. We haven't done a digital summit before and to this scale. You know, we might have some tech issues or whatever. So we went to Stay Pineapple, which is a property in Midtown Manhattan. And we said, hey, do you have a room that could work for this? We need to stay socially distant, but we need to be able to talk to each other. So they have this perfect suite. It's 2 adjoining rooms. And then there's a terrace that's divided in half by a hedge. So we would do, you know, have our Zoom sessions and then run outside, wave to each other, get a fresh air. And I can say this, if you're in New York and you need to meet with somebody and stay socially distant, it actually is a great location, which, you know, we were just looking for something. But I also think it added a little bit of whimsy to the event too, because it's such a fun property and the decor in there is nice. So yeah, it just really, I didn't expect this when we started planning because we had so little time to plan it, but it ended up bringing together the community, the swim and resort wear community, in this just lovely way that I think brought hope. And that's what I'm excited about Paraiso as well, because I think that's going to be Hope Stage 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
And how was the response of the industry with the summit?
We got such incredible responses. I mean, we were getting emailed and I was getting personal DMs while the summit was going on. This is the best thing that that could have happened. This is actually, some people even said like, wow, I learned more than I learned at Swim Week, although of course I can't wait to go back. But yeah, I mean, the response that we got was incredible, so much so that I think this won't be the last one.
We hope so. And from what you're telling me, I think that the purpose of the summit was met.
Yes, it definitely was. And I think the reason that it was met, though, was honestly, truly all of the people in the industry that came out and took their time to really give designers real information, including Natalia from Paraiso, which I'm so eternally grateful, because that was actually one of the most popular sessions. Everybody was like, and when she was describing what was going to be happening and all the, you know, the incorporation of runway buy, where you can buy off the runway, and all of the cool, innovative things that they've done, all the designers were like, okay, I'm in, you know? So I think people are going to be so incredibly pleasantly surprised by what you're going to see in a couple of weeks with Paraiso.
We are really happy that Paraiso is going on. And you have been as you have told us, with Paraiso for so many years. When do you started with this relationship that has been going on and will be going on for further more years?
Yeah, so, you know, I got my start really working with IMG, and I still work with IMG here in New York. But Paraiso has always been around, and I've always had brands that have worked with them. And I always, even when I worked with IMG, I always found that the stuff they did, because they are in Miami, I guess they capture that Miami like vibe and essence so much. So always, like, the sets have always been beautiful and everything like that. And so, you know, when there has been a little changes and everything with the whole Swim Week platform, I really just felt strongly that Paraiso is just, in terms of runway shows and experiential, there really isn't anything like it. And I'm working so closely with influencers and editors. That's really like everyone comes down for Paraiso. Not that the trade shows aren't important and I'm not giving them their, of course they get their due. It's why the industry exists, right? Is for the commerce, but the fun part where you kick off your heels and you just know you're going to be literally in a grammable moment and, get to see all of your friends and just have like an amazing time. That's what Paraiso is. And, it's the proof is in the pudding, right? With the brands that work with them.
And for many that don't know, Paraiso is not just about runways. They have the special events. They have lunches. They have parties. They have wellness sessions now. That they integrate every part of the Miami experience and give it to the brands. They offer it to the guests. They offer it to everyone that wants to participate, and that's a real charm and attractive way to do the show. So that's something that sticks to people. Looking forward, the swim week editions, and looking of how Paraiso is leading the way as it has been for many years now, and it's innovating and setting precedents. Do you think that it will be this way, that it will be also physical and digital? What do you see in the future of Swim Week?
Well, I think in general, there's a lot of talk that fashion weeks are just going to go all digital. I don't think that's going to happen. There's something about that human connection, seeing people live in person, seeing your friends, seeing what everybody's wearing, that front row on the runway, that all of that magical moment that probably you can only understand if you've been at a runway show. Or, even a brunch or an event, that's not going to go away. But what I like to think, and look, we all have days when we can't think of anything positive, right? But what I like to do on the days that I can force myself to think of the positive things is think that this is actually going to enhance our future. So we're going to go back to the traditional, oh my gosh, what is she wearing? Look at that camera. Oh, pose for this picture with Getty, all of those kind of things. All that's going to come back. The magic of the runway, seeing the way the body and the clothes flow on the runway and those magical moments, but it's going to be enhanced by the people and the producers that are being innovative, like Paraiso, with all these added digital elements. So maybe, you can't get away to come to Swim Week. Well, it's going to come to you now. In a way that it hasn't before. Of course, there was always like the media distributing, photos and everything. But I think things like Runway By and all the ways that Paraiso, they've really tried to kind of incorporate the five senses into everything that they did. And that I think is going to make everything, when this is all over, the next year, you're just going to see like, wow, this is amazing. It's in person and digital and touching all five senses. Like, that's incredible.
And one last point for Lara. When is it going to be held? And if people want to attend, what they have to do, they have to contact the designer of the production.
So everyone can register through our website, paraisomiamibeach.com. The event is happening August 20th to the 23rd. And you have different columns over there in our website. You just click on register and then you just fill out the form, and pretty much that's it.
Well, thank you, Lara and Lori, for being here with us in Cashing Out with Traffic-CHIC. For anyone that wants to follow you or your businesses, where can they find it on social media?
So for Paraiso, they can go on Instagram, Paraiso Miami Beach, and they can find all our information is also there. So updates, schedule, everything is on our Instagram.
Or you, Lori?
Yeah, so our agency handle is Riviere Agency. It's Riviere Agency. And then my handle is just my name, Lori Riviere. Yeah, and I'm super thankful for you having me today.
Thank you both for being here with us. And friends, thanks for tuning in. Remember to follow us on all our social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We have Pinterest, we have TikTok now. See all our fashion shows and exclusive content on our YouTube channel, TRAFFIC-CHIC. And don't forget to visit our digital magazine, www.traffic-chic.com, where we publish articles about fashion, beauty, and chic lifestyle every day. And last but not least, share this podcast and listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. Catching up with TRAFFIC-CHIC. Until next time.